All right, guys, welcome to CyberTruck 1. This channel is ultimately going to be about building the first truck camper in the world on top of a Cybertruck. So please follow along as things progress. It's going to take several months to do so, but the thing is going to be rather amazing. And one of the biggest things on top of this camper is going to be lots of solar with the ability to charge the Cybertruck. So to me, this is another game-changing ability, which will take what can be at times the Achilles heel of an electric vehicle of range, turning it to a vehicle where, in theory, you could go up in the mountains, you could stay a few days, you could go to Burning Man, you could be in the desert, you could go anywhere, and maybe 5, maybe 10, maybe 15 miles of range are added by the day. Anyway, that aside, what I want to talk to you today, I've owned this Cybertruck now for about 3 or 4 weeks. It's been fantastic. Yes, I'm a fanboy, okay, because I like a Cybertruck, but easily the best handling vehicle I've ever been in. The off-roading capabilities are really cool, although I haven't dug into them super well. FSD is coming shortly. It's super fast. The stereo is amazing. Again, this video is not about how great the vehicle is, but I think people don't understand, or they underestimate the real groundbreaking things that's been done on this vehicle. But what I'm here to talk to today is the dynamic of people that you run into and the haters of the world. And I don't, for the record, I don't care. If you don't like the Cybertruck, you think it's ugly, it's too expensive, you prefer, you're a Ford guy, whatever the hell it is, I don't care. What I am interested in, though, is the rationale and the reasoning and what is going on in the world that we live in today. Let me first off by saying that if 500 people come up to me in a given day or 2 or 3, 498 of them are completely ecstatic with the look, with the technology, with the size inside, with the bed, with the wheels turning, all 4 of them, all the things that go along with it. That's great, whatever. What is most mind-boggling to me is not the liking and the happiness that it, and the joy that it brings to small kids when you drive by a school, or I pull up somewhere and a store will empty out and people will come out and ask me questions, the curiosity. There's this other dynamic, which is 1 out of these 500 people are enraged. I mean pissed off. Scream at me, give the finger to the truck. I saw a woman in a Subaru, maybe that's a leading example of what might be going on, you know, stopping her car in front of my home and giving a loser symbol to me. Like, again, I don't care if you hate this thing. I always use the example, I hate show tunes. I don't like going to Broadway. I've gone a couple times kicking and dragging because of my wife, but it's not my idea of a good time. That being said, the people are very talented and capable. It's not my thing. But I don't go on YouTube and watch Broadway shows and then bash and complain and yell and scream at people. And I surely wouldn't walk down the street in Manhattan and scream at people waiting in line to see the Broadway show and tell them that they suck and Broadway shows, you know, are the worst thing, because I have better things. You know, if someone buys a refrigerator that I don't like, I don't get mad at technology. You know, supply and demand, or the free markets, people will choose to do things. Anyway, I am noticing a pattern here. So the first thing, and the very unusual part of this pattern, it's following, go figure, in this day and age, 2024, it's following political mainstream media agendas. And what's interesting about Tesla and about the Cybertruck is that it's annoying the 2 ends of the spectrum. So the super woke, left-wing liberals are annoyed with Twitter. And because we have free speech, that's another conversation as it is. Anyway, so now they must, the cult of the woke mind virus now hates Elon and hates Cybertrucks, and so you get woke Karens screaming and yelling at me. Again, 1 in 500, but it exists. The other interesting dynamic is you now have super right-wing people. Again, most guys I run into, blue-collar guys, working men, pickup truck owners, I'm always amazed how much they're interested in the vehicle and surprised. I've gone four-wheeling, guys get off out of side-by-sides and motorcycles and like can't wait to see the thing. But again, there's this small percentage of the population, far right wingers who attach electric vehicles to climate change, and they're enraged. And again, scream out the window at you, tell me it's ugly, be abrasive and obnoxious. It's rather odd, and I would suggest it's indicative of the problem that we have going on in our country right now in reference to everything, not just the Tesla vehicles. One last point I want to make. Of the 500, like I said, 498 are astounded by the vehicle. One of them is enraged, and the other one are people who have literally, I don't know how this is even plausible, but people who have never heard of the Cybertruck, seen it, don't know it's a Tesla, don't know it's electric. Literally, the moment I've seen them is the first time they've ever witnessed to this thing. And so I would argue, I'm no scientist, but and I'm doing my own research, but I would suggest that's sort of the control of an experiment where these people have no biases, they have no political agenda. I'm just showing up in front of them and they're looking at it for the first time and coming up with an opinion. And 100% of the time, anyone that has never heard, never seen, is completely just shocked, are completely enamored, joy, happiness, laughter, interested in seeing all aspects of it. And in my view, that is indicative of the problem. Okay, so when someone does not have any preconceived notions, they find the vehicle to be super interesting and fun. And, you know, again, are they going to buy it? Are they going to spend the money? Would they ultimately, do they think it's odd looking or whatever? I don't care, but they're not angry. They're not pissed off. They're not physically enraged. Anyway, that's my opinion of the world we live in right now. I still love every minute of driving the vehicle. I will say, if there's one downside, I love talking to people and all, but at some points it can be slightly overwhelming, particularly if you're trying to get something accomplished or get out of a store or whatever else. And it's a little disconcerting when just random strangers scream at you or pissed off. Again, it doesn't happen very often, but we, again, live in a bizarre world where people are so, I mean, to think about it, to be so invested in something where you're going to approach me or yell to me when you've never seen me, you don't know me, is unusual. Things you, especially from women, right? Look, anytime as a man living in the world of men and testosterone, you know, when you say something to a man out in public, right? This is why the internet is such another bizarre thing, is that people say things and do things that in regular times you would never do. Because if I saw someone in public and told them something to their face, they might get a punch in the face. And so, you know, that controls my behavior and controls most people's, rightly so. But we live in a world with the internet and Twitter and YouTube where people can comment and say things in a point of safety. And again, I see women, when you see women, you know, saying stuff to me, it's a little unusual. It's not, I would say it's not normal. And again, in a position where normally in my lifetime, I'm 54, women would not say things to a man that would potentially have someone bring physical harm to them. And of course, I have never and would not do such a thing. But you know what? You run your mouth as a super Karen. I've seen videos of people lashing out, and it's not right, but it's a crazy time. Anyway, have any thoughts on the subject? If you're a Cybertruck owner, what have you experienced? If you want to write a comment as to why you don't like it or why you love it or why it enrages you, I'd love to hear about it, because I don't know why people are angry. I don't discourage, or doesn't bother me that people don't like something, but when you're physically and mentally enraged. Something's going on. All right, folks. That's gonna finish this video here. But again, remember, we're gonna be ultimately doing some CyberTruck videos regarding a camper. We're actually gonna be building 2 of them, 2 different styles, I believe. It's gonna take several months, but we'll be leading you all along the way. I'll also be doing some accessories and getting out and doing things. One last thing I should say too is, look, a lot of YouTubers that are CyberTruck guys, in my view, I was a blue-collar guy, was a career firefighter, owned a construction company, got my hands dirty, never went to college, owned pickup trucks, many of them, owned big, heavy-duty F-450 pickup trucks. And so I'm going to take this thing out and do some real testing with it. And so I'm not some techie guy from California that doesn't know how to back it up or has never got his hands dirty or had calluses on their hands. So hopefully I bring a different dynamic to this channel, and we'll see you at the next one.